24 minutes past 8. Welcome back to Sunrise Daily. It's our concluding moment now about this prison reform segment. We have here with us in the studio Mr. Kaide Williams, who is of the Prison Rehabilitation International. You heard him also say he's a member of that Presidential Committee on Prison Reforms. And on the phone with us, he joins us from Abuja, is Mr. Okwe Fatiniku, who is the Public Relations Officer of Nigeria Prison Service. Well, let me take it to Mr. Fatiniku, who, because you've spoken about the reforms of our officials, and then you made a comment which quite shocking to many, that even officials pay their way to get posted. Mr. Fatiniku, are you still there with us? Can you hear us?
I'm still there.
What is this thing about officials actually paying their way for posting?
Chamberlain, I want to tell you that no officer pay their way for posting. Officers that are posted are tested officers. Look at the Kaudi that you mentioned. Kaudi was in Ilesha prison for about 1.5 years before he was transferred to medium security prison. And you cannot just become a DCP, a Deputy Controller of Prison, without being have various training. He has undergone many training before he became Deputy Controller of Prison. So nobody, all our posted, all those who are posted to various prisons are tested people.
Okay.
Officer.
What can you tell us about the welfare of prison warders? Because a lot of people also raise concerns. He spoke about a time when prison warders weren't paid for months. It definitely cannot be a good situation. Is that still the case? Does that still happen every now and again?
It doesn't happen now. When the time you mentioned was between 1986 and 2002, that was when Jalman was the Consular General of Prison.
But that's what Mr. Williams said.
But now, our salary are paid all of the 425th of every month.
So you're saying that all prison warders are very happy in their jobs and they don't have any challenges facing them. Is that what you're saying?
No. We still need reforms. Every sector needs reform. Prison needs reform. You know that, look, as you are working there, you are not contented with your salary.
Well, how do you know that?
Your salary today, you will be happy. So every worker, every officer, so if the salary increment comes today...
If I have the opportunity to speak on my own salary and my job, I definitely will speak.
Yes.
Well, what we're doing is giving you the opportunity to speak about your salary, your job, whether, you know, the welfare of... Just a moment.
Our salary is paramilitary salary structure, which is paid across all the paramilitary.
My point is...
It can be improved on.
Are they happy with their welfare? I mean, it's when we talk about welfare, it's not just salaries. It doesn't just come down to salaries. It encapsulates a host of things. Are you saying that they are content and there is no challenge that across board all prison warders are facing and they wish it would change?
Look, everybody cannot be happy with whatever is paid. There are some that will not be happy. But to the extent, this is what is paid across all board with the paramilitary services.
Well, we're not talking about pay. I don't know how else to put this. I know that in Akwa Ibom, for instance, when we visited...
Let me give you an example. There are also other welfare package that, just this year, about 700 brand new motors were given to staff to pay on a incremental basis.
Okay.
Brand new, not to come on.
Well, it would seem that all is well and good with the Nigeria Prison Service, and we really don't need any help.
I'm not saying all is rosy. I'm not saying all is well.
That's the picture you're painting.
What I'm saying is that it can be improved on.
All right, let's get these questions to you. It comes from, I think it says it's text. It says, what prison facilities exist for prisoners with disabilities, and how do you handle them nationwide? Or how many do you have nationwide?
Those with disabilities, are handled by experts. Don't forget, the prisons have the experts, the psychology, the criminologists, and sociologists. Most of us have the. So I don't want to tell you this is the way we handle it because for security reasons, because somebody, because of that, may commit an offense to be brought into the prison. But we have ways of handling those who are disabled.
Okay, all right then.
And in an excellent way. He knows. Kayode Williams knows.
Okay, we'll get him to speak now, but thank you, Mr. Okwe the Public Relations Officer of Nigeria Prisons. Thank you for speaking with us today.
Thank you. Please do me a favor next time, bring an expert on prison.
Thank you for speaking with us, Mr. Okwe. Let's get to Mr. Kayode Williams. I mean, he spoke about some of these matters which you clearly disagree with.
Okay. Yeah. I begin to wonder if I stay in the prison for offense that I committed and I served my jail term and I came out, and for the past 35 years now that I came out of prison, I never committed any offense again. I don't know the practical area of prison. I experienced it. I went to Unilag after my imprisonment to study so that I can improve on how to be a progressive man who will be productive.
Was it the system that made you change?
It's not the system. I gave my life to Christ. So that is, I don't want to talk on the religious aspect. But I gave my life to Christ. It's not the prison. Prison, as at today, and I stand to be corrected, is a training ground for hardened criminals.
Do you get officials of the prison service come to this Presidential Committee on Reforms and talk about their experience and ask for change or reforms?
The former Controller General was member. The chief, we were 15 in member. The CJ, the Chief Justice of the Federation, the Inspector General of Police, there. We were all members. So for me to come from the prison, to be a member of the Presidential Committee, I think I'm an expert, I'm a stakeholder when it comes to issue of prison. But because they may not like what I'm saying, and it is for their own good. Because most of the people he's talking of, they have criminologists, they have psychologists. Are these people really put in the offices where they can efficiently work? So as to prove, then I still remain on my foot that there is armed squad men. Were they properly funded? Are the prison authority taking care of all these people? Is there quarters where they stay? Is it a good place to behold? So all these things needed to be changed. So whatever Okpa is saying, or any other prison officer, just because I'm not towing the line they want me to tow, by telling them the truth, does not mean that we will not have a change.
Okay, Mr. Kayode Williams, thank you for coming on today.
You are welcome.
We'll be back after this break. We've got a different matter coming up in just a moment. Do join us again.